2K Sports checks in with our loyal viewers with a broadcast from Brooklyn, the home of the Nets, Barclays Center. Hi, everyone. I'm Kevin Harlan with Steve Kerr and Clark Kellogg. Happy to have you along for this edition of the NBA on 2K Sports. We've got a chance now for our starting lineups from point guard to center. This game should be a good one. And as we take a look here at Kevin Garnett, guys, what's your take?
Well, the thing with Garnett, Kevin, is he's still one of the best players in the league. He doesn't finish quite as well around the basket as he once did, but he's got a knockdown jump shot at that mid-range level. Excellent defender, good rebounder, and basically just a winner.
Well, he is a winner because he does all of those things. He scores, he defends, but it's not just about scoring with him. He's a pretty good playmaker from the post too, Steve. He's become quite adept at spotting cutters and slashes when he's got the ball in the post.
Well, a coaching carousel for the Lakers last season. They made it only 5 games before firing Mike Brown. Then they decided to go in a new direction. And, boy, they went through 3 different head coaches before all was said and done. They never really were able to gain that consistency they were looking for.
No good from Gasol. And Brooklyn has possession. Lopez sets a screen for Pierce. Terrific design on the pick foot. He lays it in. Pierce has got the game going here with the first basket for Brooklyn. And here's Nash. And back to the Lakers' struggles last season. What do you think, Clark, were the main problems that, held them back from being the kind of title contender that they thought they were and a lot of people imagined they were?
Well, how much time do I have? 3 or 4 shot clocks worth? I mean, I think there were a number of issues, as you might expect. Injuries played a significant role, but I think there was discord over how they should play, really no true identity. They were a big team trying to be small, a team without a number of shooters trying to spread the floor, older team trying to go up tempo, coaching change, and that transition.
Right, yes.
You had a lot of moving parts, and it made it very difficult for everybody, I think, and it showed in how the Lakers' season went.
That's a good assessment. He dishes it to Young. And a beautiful feed leads to a monster jam.
Guys, that's simply superb. Ball pressure, a run out, and then a dunk in transition.
Exactly, Clark, what they wanted, the aggressive defense to lead to.
Yeah, points in transition.
That's why you want to make the other team feel uncomfortable handling the ball, because you can get easy points out of it at the other end.
Feeds it to Pierce. Down to 5 on the shot clock. The rebound by Young.
I'm not sure about that shot, guys. The defense really all over him.
Nash gets a screen from Gasol. And here's Young from the arc. The shot no good. The Nets go the other way with it. And another shot, and it's Gasol getting it to go.
When the size advantage is that pronounced, I mean, that's exactly what you should do offensively in this situation. Take it strong to the middle.
Now here's Williams. Here's Pierce. Hits the jump hook. Pierce has got his second basket of the game.
Excellent work offensively to get that shot attempt into a can't-miss area.
Williams against Nash. Over to the wing. Open shot, Gasol. And Pierce pulls it down.
I tell you what, folks. I bet he won't miss that shot next time he takes it.
Here's Williams. Can't connect from 13 feet out.
That's not a sight you see very often. I mean, he has a great feel for that jump shot, especially when he's open.
And a nice shot by Bryant.
It's going to be tough for the defense today. If he's got his A game rolling here tonight, we'll see.
Nash against Williams. Garnett kicks to Williams. Johnson outside. That 3 off the mark. Los Angeles leading by 4. Now let's find out what head coach Mike D'Antoni had to say to our Doris Burke. Doris?
One of their harder tasks in this game will be finding a way to slow down the explosive scorer, Joe Johnson. He said there isn't any one answer, as Johnson can and will play so many different roles in an offense throughout the course of the game. He said he can initiate plays as well as finish plays. We'll just have to make sure we don't lose track of them. Guys?
And as always, Doris, thank you. Here's Pierce after the made shot from Young. Unloads from 9. Pierce's shot is good. Pierce has got 6 points.
You love for any trip down the floor to end with a shot like that.
Nash the pass to Bryant. The feed to Kaman.
Came and gave up his old caveman look, guys, but he's still an intimidating presence in the post. Good size and strength and doesn't really get pushed around. Also excellent timing when it comes to shot blocking.
Lakers shooting their first free throws of the game.
Well, you look at last season's numbers, guys, down below 70% as a team from the line.
And it's something they know that if they improve, can really have a big impact on their success.
That free throw missing. No good on the second free throw. Nets trail by 4. Johnson dishes to Garnett. Lopez, a screen on Nash. Williams double team. Here's Lopez. That drops, and it comes off an assist from Williams. And Chris came in skilled offensively. Ambidextrous, finishing inside, and a good mid-range shooter.
Yeah, I think he's really good offensively. He's got a lot of skill. He's tough to handle. And the question mark with him is defensively. You know, his weak side rotations can be late. He's never really been, you know, a center that you kind of solidify your defense around.
Here's Johnson following the basket by Kobe Bryant. The shot's good from Lopez. Lakers have gone 6 of 9, shooting it well. Nash kicks to Kobe. Tiemann sets a screen for Bryant, and play stops. Whistle on what looks to be an illegal screen.
Now, tough call there on that illegal screen.
He didn't look set to me, Steve. I thought that was a good call.
Brooklyn trailing. Williams with the ball. He hasn't scored yet. That, I'm sure, will change. A shot by Johnson, no good. Bryant against Lopez. Nash drives in. And a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot 2 right here.
You know, it's interesting. Part of the reason Nash struggled getting used to playing with the Lakers is because he was always the guy making the offense go. The offense ran through him with his prior teams. You know, at one point in his career, Nash was known more for his shooting than anything else. An interesting turnabout in his career.
And that one falls for Nash. And for Steve Nash, one of the great playmakers and pick-and-roll operators in league history. And, Steve, you think it makes sense for the Lakers to take him off the ball?
Well, it just depends on what the rest of the roster looks like. But last season, because they really didn't want to run their offense through their bigs inside, it forced the ball into Kobe Bryant's hands more. And Nash became more of a spot-up shooter as a result.
And Nash makes both of them.
You know, as great as 2012 was for the Nets, in many ways, they really came up short on their last game of that calendar year. In 2012, the New Year's Eve matchup against the Spurs, the Nets only scored 5 points in the third quarter of that contest.
A nice play to get a hand on that pass and tip it out of bounds.
I tell you what, guys, if he gets there a fraction earlier, that's a steal.
And the Nets making a change here. Kirilenko's checked in. Here's Williams. Can't get it to go. Hill with some nice D. And Clark, you were talking about the Nets. They went from looking like a team that could compete for a title to a team that, while still talented, Steve, and a lock for the playoffs, was a little closer to the middle of the pack than they thought.
Yeah, with the hot start they got off to, I think it was just a matter of time before they hit a cold stretch. Never fun to be held to just 5 points in a quarter. And that game got a lot of Nets fans wondering how the rest of the season would go. But, hey, they got it back together and still finished off pretty well.
Here's Nash after Joe Johnson scored. Nash, the pass to Gasol. And so it looks like the Lakers will retain possession here. Andre Blatch, he's checked in for Brook Lopez. Andre Blatch. Nash with it. Williams picks him up. Young for 3. Here's Hill. A second chance effort. He lays it in.
Well, most of all, I just love the work he puts in on the offensive glass. So many of his points come on putbacks just because of sheer hustle.
And another thing I love about him is his willingness to really get in there and mix it up. I mean, to put his body on the line if that's what it's going to take to make a play.
And the first timeout called of the game for Brooklyn.
Lakers ended up 17-13 against Eastern Conference teams last year, but that wasn't really a dominating effort. Certainly not what you would expect from a playoff team.
Williams dishes to Pierce. Joe Johnson on the wing. Back to Pierce. On the wing, Johnson. 6 on the shot clock. Williams kicks to Johnson. From about 16, another miss by Johnson. Well, and to make the playoffs in the West, you do need to have a record similar to that of the Lakers against the East. You know, Steve, no team that made the postseason in the West had a record below 500. So the Lakers took care of what they needed to.
Well, you know what's odd, Kevin, is that in the shortened season before, when the Lakers were the cream of the Pacific Division and everything was going well, they only went 500 against the East. So, you know, if they want to bounce back this season, they'll need to not give away games and make sure they keep their out-of-conference record better than 500.
Here's Kirilenko after Jordan Hill's bucket. And Johnson missing again.
Take a look at the rebound totals, guys. That's +5 now on the glass.
And, Steve, I don't think there's any question which team came out with more energy and enthusiasm.
Now, here is Young.
You know, it seems to me Nick Young is a perfect guy to have coming off the bench because he's a volume shooter and scorer who can get hot in a hurry. But I think his best role is to play him kind of in a Jamal Crawford type role.
Los Angeles shooting their 5th and 6th free throws of the game. And that one falls for Young. And some changes here for the Lakers. Johnson comes in for Kobe. And Steve Blake is subbed in for Steve Nash. And so Young nails them both.
Boy, his free throw shooting, just another reason he's such a good all-around player.
They need a good offensive possession.
Yeah, they've had a number of empty ones, a long time without a basket.
I got to find something. You're right. Kirilenko the pass to Terry. Pass to Evans. And he lays it straight in. Here's Blake. Blake off the pick from Gasol. Here's Blake. He's guarded by Williams. Knocked away. Watch with the steal. Williams, that's good. Now just a 4-point Los Angeles lead.
Here it is again. On a lot of their possessions this first half, they've established great position inside.
Yeah, getting the ball into the post should be their first option every time down. Force the defense to adapt and adjust.
He just has not been able to get into that groove yet, guys, but as a whole, it hasn't affected them too much.
Terry with it, and it's Johnson picking him up. Kirilenko into the lane, and he makes no mistake on the slam dunk. There it is, guys, that Olay defense. Just watching him go, Clark, right by.
I think we might be seeing which team is ready to take control of this game.
Yeah, that's a dunk that could absolutely get them going. I agree, Clark.
For Los Angeles, they've gone 8 of 15 from the field, shooting above 50% here tonight. Blake kicks to Young, jacks up a 3, good on the shot. Young's got 9.
A good open look, and he splashes home the 3.
The pass to Terry. Back to Williams. Dishes it to Evans. And fouled hard that time. He'll get to the line and shoot two. Wesley Johnson picks one up.
Guys, Reggie Evans is a ferocious rebounder. He is actually the picture next to the definition of glass eater at both ends of the floor. I mean, last season, he led the league by a long margin in rebounds per minute.
That free throw, no good. And it's interesting with Reggie Evans, as physically as he plays, Steve, he's not afraid to embellish some contact the other way.
Well, most players like Evans, who maybe aren't the most physically gifted players offensively, they find ways to have an effect, whether it's crashing the boards, which he does, or, you know, being a little tricky, trying to draw fouls and deceive the officials a little bit. Just going to be honest here.
Oh, no, you're good. That's an interesting point. Lakers leading by 4. Gasol, a screen on Terry. Blake kicks to Johnson. The dish now to Gasol. Pass to Farmar. Jacks up a 3. Brooklyn with the rebound.
And very quickly here in the first quarter, pronounced advantage for them on the glass.
Yeah, that's a trend they'd love to continue right through the next 3 quarters as well.
Now here's Terry. No scoring yet from him, but that's likely to change. That's good.
They've got to continue to put pressure on the defense by probing inside. That's what's really working for them.
And when you're doing the job they are inside, it takes pressure off the perimeter guys.
Here's Blake. Darren Williams picking up that last basket. Here's Farmar. Used the shot fake to create the angle, but couldn't get it to fall. Terry kicks to Williams from 12 feet out. One shot is good that time. Williams has got it all tied up now for the Nets.
Really hard to find fault with anything he's doing this quarter, at least at the offensive end.
Passes to Blake. Kicks it out to Johnson. Yes, and it's Blake picking up the assist.
Everybody on the floor is hot. Incredible stuff here in the early stages.
Tell you what, both teams playing downhill. Who's going to blink first?
Timeout called, the Nets.
You know, the new home for the Nets last season, as they moved over from New Jersey to Brooklyn, they must have loved their new digs because they were fantastic in front of this Brooklyn crowd last season. 26-15 here.
Chris Kamen's checked in for Pau Gasol. Watch in the post, defended by Kaman. Kaman with the defensive effort. Clark, you're right. The Nets are making a good impression here, as you were saying. Always good for a team to open up a new arena with a strong record at all.
And what a great stadium, guys. The Barclays Center, one of the best-looking floors in the NBA. Great design all around. And even on the outside, when you walk up to the arena here in Brooklyn, it's just a beautiful atmosphere.
Now here is Kirilenko. Evans dishes to Terry. Just 5 to shoot. The shot is off. Good work defensively by Johnson. Johnson right side. 24 seconds left to play in the first. Farmar with the bucket. And now a 6-point Los Angeles lead.
Something they'd like to see more of him more often, that's for sure.
And it's Terry off the drive. This one for 3, and he gets it to go. Terry's got himself going with the triple, his first basket of the game. Farmar passes to Keenan. High post shot. He got it up in time, but it wouldn't fall for him. A good close contest so far as we finish the first quarter. Lakers lead by 3. And the second quarter will be on the way when we come back. And so far it's been a closely contested game as we get the second quarter up and going. And taking a look at Los Angeles' performance here, Clark and Steve, what have they been doing or not doing?
They've done a nice job on the offensive boards here, guys, and I think that was the difference in that first quarter, really pounding the offensive glass.
Well, they set the tone early with their mindset, their tenacity, and their hustle. That's the way they come out, and it's served them well.
And a chance here presented by Gatorade to see who's on the floor, all fueled up and ready to go for the start of the second quarter. Setting the floor for the Nets, the front court trio of Pierce, Garnett, and Brook Lopez. Terry is out there with Johnson. That's good from Lopez.
It seems for the past few years, the only time you heard about Brook Lopez's name was in what the Nets would give up for Dwight Howard. I mean, well, all of that talk goes away now, at least for a minute, because he signed that extension with the Nets. And because of that, I think he was more comfortable, and it showed in his production on the floor.
And there's Terry following the three-pointer by Kobe Bryant. And it's Terry off the drive. No good. Nice D from Farmar.
And they forced the miss with that good defensive rotation. They're playing well together as a unit.
He kicks to Kaman. He feeds it to Farmar. Jacks up a three. No luck. And Brooklyn will come the other way. And for Brook Lopez, a max contract going into last season. It raised some eyebrows for sure, but the way he's elevated his game, it looks like right now at least he's been worth every penny.
Yeah, I agree with that. First-time All-Star. He improved as a shot blocker and a rebounder. And, I thought he should have got maybe some votes at least for most improved player last season. Big reason why the Nets improved so much.
That's a good point.
With that much of a height advantage, that's exactly what you should do. Take it straight to the rim.
Farmar kicks to Johnson. And a great assist by Farmar as that one goes in. And the Lakers lead by 3. The Nets have gone 2 of 3 from the field here to open the second quarter. Terry outside. Johnson outside. Kicks it to Garnett. The jump hook, and he tries off the glass, but it's no good. Here's Farmar. Pierce covering. So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up, and 2 shots coming up. And what an illustrious list we're looking at here, folks. The list of interior denial. The top rankings for career blocks. Rim protection. Always key, guys, you know that, for the league's stingiest defenses.
Well, and I always think, Kevin, what would the numbers have looked like for Bill Russell had that stat been kept track of? Because prior to 1973, we didn't keep track of blocks. So you look more at some of the more recent stars, Olajuwon, Mutombo, some of the great shot blockers. Man, those guys were lockdown defenders.
Pau Gasol is checked in for the Lakers. Young comes in for Johnson. So Farmar nails both of them.
This is the second season for the Nets here in Brooklyn. It's amazing how quickly they've made themselves a part of this community. They've tried to capture some of that history from sports in the past. In fact, they have the flagpole from the old Ebbets Field right outside the Barclays Center. Kind of a cool historical connection.
Now, here is Young after the miss from Joe Johnson and the foul on Jason Terry. That's his first foul.
Tough call there and a tough break for the defense.
But, I think you could still see him kind of sliding in there. I don't have a problem with the call.
Steve Nash, he's checked in for the Lakers. Now here's Kaman. Quiet so far offensively, searching for his first points of the game. Young against Johnson. And for the Nets, you notice that unlike most teams with their jerseys, whether they're on the road or at home, it's Brooklyn across their chest.
I think that represents them representing the borough, Kevin, and looking to establish a new identity. And even if you aren't a big Nets fan, for Brooklynites, it's easy to throw on a black and white sweater or jersey with Brooklyn across the front of it.
And that's out of bounds. Brooklyn will retain possession. Here's Terry. Shot clock at 6. Beyond the arc.
Ouch. Another miss to add to what's been a miserable game for him from the field.
It's Nash with the drive. Here's Gasol. And the rebound goes to Jason Terry.
That was not pretty there. You got to make that one, but maybe that's not his range.
Johnson dishes to Terry. It's Pierce on the wing. Lopez sets a screen for Pierce. Got a piece of it into Brook Lopez, and that one's good. Lopez has got 9.
You know, when he's in that tight with that kind of height advantage over the defender, that's going to be a pretty easy play for him.
Johnson against Bryant. Shoots. And it hung on the rim, but wouldn't fall for him. Nets trail by 5. Terry, the pass to Johnson. Looking to get back on track here, and it's good on the layup. LA's gone 1 of 2 on 3-pointers here in the second quarter so far. Ryan in the post, Johnson on him, and that one's good. And that's now 11 points for Kobe Bryant.
His shooting's been outstanding. Definitely one of the reasons his team is up in this game.
Terry kicks to Johnson. He dishes it to Lopez. That's good, and it's Johnson with the assist. And 11 points for Brook Lopez.
Well, it looks like he's finally found his footing in this game. His first quarter was a real struggle, but he's got it going now.
So timeout called here, the first for Los Angeles. I think Doris Burke has something for us right now. Doris?
Hey, Kevin, I was able to hear the advice Mike D'Antoni gave to his team during that break. He was making sure everyone knew exactly what the plan was guarding against Lopez. With the damage he's been inflicting, Coach said that every man on the floor has got to be aware of where he is at all times, saying, quote, one-on-one defense is not going to get it done against him today. You've got to help each other out. Guys, they're clearly hoping those changes have an effect even before this game makes it to halftime. Kevin?
And thank you, Doris. Count it, and the Laker lead has been cut down to just 1 on the basket from Johnson.
Little touch of class there, guys. The end of that play with the finger roll.
Nash against Terry. Nash dishes to Young. Feeds to Kaman. And he banks in the layup. And the Lakers lead by 3.
Superb assist there. He played the role of the maestro on that one.
Terry outside. In low to Garnett. And so he draws the foul on the shot. A trip to the line to shoot 2.
Well, you know, when Rajon Rondo went down last season and the Celtics looked to be out of any title contention, Kevin Garnett, guys, became a very hot topic on the trade market. And with his ability and experience, that should be no surprise.
And the first one at the line is good. We talked about what Garnett can bring to a team. He's still an impactful player. Offensively, a deadly jump shooter. He reached 25,000 points last season with Boston. Also a great passer.
But it's defensively where he really makes his mark. One of the best defensive forwards I think the league has ever seen. His ability to communicate, to guard pick and roll, to switch out onto point guards and stay in front of them. And then the intensity, the intangible that he brings to your club.
So he picks up just 1 from the line that time.
You know, there are a number of things that went wrong for the Lakers, and a lot of it led to them being a poor team on the road. They just didn't look like they were on the same page whenever they played away from Staples. Whatever their plan was defensively that time, it didn't work. Not if it results in that shot.
Johnson right side. Tries from 16. The rebound by Young. Back to the Lakers and their play on the road. It wasn't for their lack of scoring. They would put up just about as many on the road as they would at home. Steve, it's just that they wouldn't get the stops. The defense wasn't what they needed for road wins.
Well, if you're going to win on the road, Kevin, you have to get stops. And the Lakers didn't do that. And, you know, you think about this year without Dwight Howard now, that defense is only going to get worse. So I would look for the road to be a major issue this year for the Lakers.
Down to 5 on the shot clock. Williams passes to Garnett. That's good.
I'll tell you what, I need to see some more assertiveness out of these defenders. They're not getting the job done.
Yeah, that's 10 of the last 12 points they've allowed on good looks right at the rim.
Now here's Nash. And Bryant kicks to Nash. Back to Kobe. That's tipped. And now here comes Williams leading the break. Came in against Johnson. Pierce dishes to Garnett. 11 feet away, and he didn't get quite enough under that one. Lakers leading by 4. Bryant with it. And it's Johnson picking him up. Kobe, the pass to King. Unloads. Again, the Lakers.
Well, offensively, he's taken a solid opening quarter and just built on it here in the second.
The Nets have gone 7 of 14 in the second quarter, shooting to the tune of 50%. Outside Williams, the feed to Pierce. Back to Williams. Nets passing it around. Johnson's shot is off.
It has not been an easy quarter for him, at least offensively speaking.
Shoots a fader, and the Lakers tack on 2 more.
He's got so much junk in his trunk, he'll find a way to hurt you.
Nets trail by 8. Guys are looking for a spark here.
Yeah, I mean, a cold stretch offensively. They desperately need a basket.
Timeout called, the Nets. Kobe Bryant really making a difference here.
They don't seem to have any answers for him. They need to review their game plan and look for a way to cool him off.
And some changes here for the Lakers. Hill, he's checked in for Kane. And Steve Blake is subbed in for Kobe. Williams against Nash. They get it back. Good on that shot, and with that, the Los Angeles lead is cut down to just 6 points on the bucket from Blatch.
You know, of the last 6 baskets, 5 have come on the interior. This is major smash mouth basketball, guys.
Love it. Old school. Just physical play in the paint. Dominate.
Right side, Gasol. Pocket 6. Baseline try, and good on the basket. Book it. Gasol's got the lead up to 8 now for the Lakers.
That's 10 straight points now coming in that mid-range jump shot area, guys.
Yeah, it is, and they're picking their spots and finding holes in the middle of that defense to get those shots off, and I think that's very good discipline they're showing us here.
Another strong rebound, just like we've gotten used to seeing from them today.
Yeah, 1 or 2 more of those, and this lead will be double digits.
Young's shot is off.
That's his comfort zone, so defensively, really nice job challenging the shot.
Now here's Williams. He's got 6. Shakes off the strong D and gets the bucket for 2. Williams has got 8 points. Los Angeles leading by 6. Blake kicks to Hill. Nash outside. Johnson goes in. Pass to Williams. Back to Johnson. And it's off the back rim. No good.
Not a bad look at the hoop. Just couldn't get it to bounce in for him.
Nash dishes to Young. For 3. Rebound, Brooklyn.
Almost surprised that he had that much room to work with.
Kirilenko kicks to Williams. Evans left side. Johnson against Young. Trying to break that ice-cold streak. That one's good. The Laker lead is cut down to just 4 points in the bucket from Johnson.
And there it is again. That's where their points have been coming today, from the low post.
And even under pressure in tight, they've maintained their concentration and converted their opportunities.
And again, no good by the Lakers.
He hit a 3 in the first, but so far has been unable to capitalize here in this quarter.
Kirilenko, and he banks in the layup. Now just a 2-point Laker lead.
I think they need to get much more disruptive defensively. They can't just keep allowing these easy baskets.
I agree. They need more energy in the post, maybe some double teaming. They've got to get their defense in gear.
Blake with it. He's guarded by Johnson. Young outside, takes a 3. Again, Young missing.
Not sure why he's insisting on shooting from out there. It's just not working for him right now.
And Williams, here we go. He nails it. It's tied up. Williams has got 4 points now in the quarter.
Oh, I tell you what, nice little run here they're going on.
Now the story is points in the paint, Clark, and they're getting point-blank shots every time down.
From deep, and that's not going to go. Tie game in Brooklyn. And now let's catch up with Doris Burke, who's standing by on the sideline. Doris?
I'm here with Joe Johnson. And Joe, one of the challenges with having such a deep roster like yours is figuring out everyone's roles in the system. How is the new chemistry coming together with a mix of all-star talent?
We're just trying to feel one another out, man. It's a long season, so obviously early in this young season, man, we're just taking our time right now, trying to feel our way through everything, and everything else takes care of itself.
There's no doubt it's a process, Joe. Thanks for the time. Guys?
All right, Doris, thank you, and stay with us, folks. We'll be back just after halftime to get the third quarter underway.
Thanks for tuning in. Now back to the action in Brooklyn.
The Sprint Halftime Report, presented by Sprint.
Nighttime on the East River as we welcome you back, a view skyward at the bright lights of the Brooklyn Bridge. You look at Kobe Bryant in this game, I mean, he has been everywhere.
It seemed like he made everything he got. I mean, anytime he had an open look, he took advantage of the opportunity there in that first half.
And Steve, they were all good looks. I mean, his shot selection has been terrific throughout the game.
So the Lakers 5 right now. Inside the 7-footers, Gasol and Kaman. Nash and Bryant in the backcourt. And it's Young in at the small forward. The shot by Pierce will not go. And Los Angeles guys shooting at 52% from the field. They're clicking.
Lakers still pursuing another title, but it would be a real shock if that were to come this year. A lot of age and injury on this team. They lose Dwight Howard. This is a club that just doesn't have enough athleticism and speed to contend for a title.
Near the three-point line, it's Nash. Misses the chippy right there.
Great look, disappointing result.
Most times he knocks that one down.
Here's Johnson, and he finishes nicely on the layup. Johnson's got the lead up to 2 now for the Nets.
Well, that's one way to get your second half started on the right foot. An easy layup against some soft defense.
Well, back to the Lakers, Clark. You think they're too old? Is this a team that needs to rebuild?
Not yet, Kevin. The saying is young doesn't win in the NBA. I think for them, health and chemistry are the most important factors. Also, I think this is a franchise that has shown it can make a home run deal, like acquiring Pau Gasol in 2007. Got 2 titles out of that move. I think they'll look to add some youth through their bench and restructure the personnel a bit, and they'll position themselves for another run perhaps. It has not been an ideal start to the second half. They've missed 3 of their first 4.
Steps back and fires. Rejected by Bryant. They recover it. They get it back, and it's good. Here's Los Angeles now, trailing by 2. Nash left side. Here's Gasol. There it is. It's Nash picking up the assist. Nash has got 3 assists in the game.
That's the kind of aggressive and assertive play they need as we get closer and closer to crunch time.
No question. Pound it into the painted area and continue to put pressure on that defense.
And let's now go to the sideline. We'll catch up here with Doris Burke. Doris?
Gentlemen, Andre Kirilenko declined a second-year player option on his contract with the Timberwolves worth $10 million. He had to settle for a lot less in Brooklyn, but at least a chance to play for a stacked team looking to contend for a title. Kevin?
Well, they've definitely added some quality size, Doris. No question about that. We'll see how they do. Well, we're into the third quarter. Just over 2.5 minutes played. Johnson, the pass to Pierce. Dishes to Williams. Johnson outside. It's good from long range. And it's a 5-point Nets lead.
Well, it took him a long time to get that 3-point range. Maybe this will get him going.
And the Lakers call time here.
They've been very untidy with the ball here. You commit turnovers when you try to do too much or you force it. They need to focus on making the simple play, good passes, and moving the ball around.
Third quarter here, and 3 minutes have come off the clock. The shot by Nash, no good.
He had a defender draped all over him. Not really the best shot there.
Well, not the shot you hope for when it's well contested like that.
All right, let's go over to the sideline with Doris Burke.
Hey, Kevin, I was able to hear the advice Mike D'Antoni gave to his team during that break. He was getting into the details of keying in defensively against Johnson. Coach had some very strong words about the changes that had to be made to reduce the damage he's been doing. He talked also about getting the ball to their big men in the low post. That's where the ball should be going, he said. Let's get it in tight. Those could prove to be crucial changes to their strategy with this game getting ready to enter the stretch drive, Kevin.
All right, Doris, here is Williams. Following the basket by Kobe Bryant. Johnson dishes to Lopez. Gasol with the rebound. Gasol's got his 6th rebound on the night.
In my opinion, Brook Lopez, guys, quite possibly is the best scoring 7-footer in the game. He has terrific skills on the low block. And he's able to step out and knock that outside shot down from out to the 3-point line.
And so it's Brooklyn with it after Pau Gasol's bucket. Pierce kicks to Johnson. The kick out to Williams. Second chance shot. Lopez passes to Garnett. Outside Williams. Here's Johnson. There's Garnett. Misses off the right iron. Lakers trail by 3. Kobe dishes to Young. The pass to Gasol. He kicks to Kobe. 6 to shoot. And so he draws the foul on the shot on trip to the line to shoot 2. And for Brook Lopez last season, Steve, almost 20 points a game, shooting over 50%.
His best season ever, Kevin. I think he's really evolved into one of the top centers in the league. A big-time elite interior threat. And as you know, I mean, that's kind of rare these days in the NBA.
Mm-hmm. The free throw drops for Kobe.
Well, head coach Jason Kidd, that's a phrase I didn't expect to hear this quickly, but Kidd wasted no time. Only a matter of weeks after he announced his retirement as a player, he was named the head coach of the Brooklyn Nets. And it's going to be interesting to see the transition. Kidd, obviously great basketball IQ, so well respected as a person in the league. I think it's just a matter of time before he really finds his footing and becomes an excellent coach.
Now here's Terry. Offensive rebound. Pierce kicks to Lopez. Good. Lopez has got 13 points.
Well, he's a really difficult cover because if he gets anywhere near the rim, he can finish. Great strength, the ability to convert in the lane. Boy, that's tough to defend.
And applies even if he has to absorb contact getting to the rim.
And back to Coach Jason Kidd, Clark, a rookie at the coaching profession, but one of the most intelligent and respected point guards over his 19 years in the NBA.
Yeah, always respected as a leader, and his basketball IQ off the charts. So I think he's one of the few guys that could go right from playing to being a successful head coach.
And folks, what an outstanding array of talent we've got here. Just look at the list for all-time career scoring average. Jordan and Chamberlain and LeBron.
And, of course, those guys were much more than just scorers, Kevin. They were winners, champions. But, as you work your way up that list, no question, that is elite company.
Here's Farmar. Kamen inside. Lopez with the steal. Ryan against Terry. Williams passes to Lopez. And here is Williams. He's got 12. Here's Garnett. And again, it's Brooklyn converting.
You know, it's a plus to get good looks in the paint. And when you can get them, you got to score them.
Lakers trail by 3. Now Farmar. Now the dish to Bryant. To tie. Farmar, no good.
There's some good defense for you. I mean, for somebody who's as good at shooting the three as he is, you need a defender who's equally adept at guarding against him. That was well done.
Well, then they picked the right guy to put on it.
Kamen inside. And a great assist by Farmar as that one goes in. 6 points for Chris Kamen.
A good job of spotting his teammate near the basket and zipping the pass right in there.
Williams gets a screen from Pierce. Outside Williams.
Darren Williams suffered a lot of injuries in the first half of last season and finally got healthy in the second half, and it showed. He was fantastic during the last 30 or 40 games or so, and I think now with all this talent around him, the situation is perfect for Williams to reestablish himself as one of the elite players in this league.
And he can't get the first one.
And the Lakers have not defended well against Williams.
He has 14 points, and he's created a lot of chances for his teammates also.
And some of these passes have been absolutely beautiful, Clark.
He hits the second from the line.
The 2-possession lead is what they were looking for there, so they can deal with that one miss.
Clark, they've been looking out of sync offensively.
You know what? A basket here would do a lot for their confidence.
Blake kicks to Farmar. That 3 off the mark. And for Williams last season, he seemed to get better, Clark, as the season wore on. Not usually the case with injuries.
But I think he, like a lot of players, Kevin, may have still been recovering from the grind of the condensed schedule 2 seasons ago. You know, he started playing in Turkey before starting that tough, shortened season. So you factor in Team USA play in the summer, he put a lot of wear and tear on his body, and I think it just took a while for it to rebound.
Here's Johnson. Jason Terry picking up that last basket. Johnson. That's going to be out of bounds. Los Angeles will retain possession.
7 seconds.
6 to shoot. Hill dishes to Kamen. They grab their own miss. Farmar passes to Kamen. Over Kirilenko. Changes up, and it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot.
And the offense just getting right to the rim, but at least they saved the layup with the foul.
That's old school basketball rules. I mean, at the end of the day, no easy layup. Earn it from the line.
And guys, what do you think about the offensive approach so far that we've seen for Brooklyn?
Well, they're taking high percentage shots in the paint. I like the way their offense is clicking.
Well, you've also got to love how aggressively they've taken that ball to the basket and scored off dribble penetration.
And the first one at the line is good.
You know, a lot of things went right for the Nets last season, but one area they struggled in was handling the Western Conference teams. In 30 chances against teams out west, they only won 13 times.
Both free throws good from Hill. And back to the Nets against the West. That number not really what you want if you plan on winning a tough division, Steve, like the Atlantic.
Well, that was the difference last year in terms of who won the Atlantic. The Knicks had a great record against the West, and the Nets did not. So I think to get a high seed, to win their division, the Nets have to have a better record against Western Conference teams this year.
And good on the basket. Book it. Watch has got his second basket.
They've been so efficient in the paint in this game. That's an area they've totally dominated.
You know, once they ID'd the edge they had inside, they just continued to attack it.
Late reaction from the defense, and he's always going to make good on that.
Here's Williams after the made shot from Farmer. Out to Kirilenko. Good, great play by Williams to set it up. 6 points for Andre Kirilenko.
Well, I like the way he orchestrated in tight that time, fellas.
Here's Blake. Terry covering. Blake kicks to Farmer. Rebound, Brooklyn. Evans has got his third rebound tonight. Terry with it. He's got 5. Tries it from 19. Here's Evans. Shot's good. And it's an 8-point Brooklyn lead.
You see the defense get caught standing around that time, giving up an easy second chance bucket.
Simply need more of an effort on the boards there, Steve.
Here's Farmar. He's got 6.
It seems like nothing is falling for him this quarter. He's really out of his rhythm.
Williams kicks to Terry. Looks for Evans, gets it to him. Cashes in for a double-digit lead. Evans has got 7 points in the game.
They haven't been as aggressive from outside as they were in the first half. They're playing smart with the lead. I like that. They're being very selective and deliberate in their offense. And that's a good strategy when you're on top.
Here's Farmar. Blake for 3. Good. Blake's got himself on the board with 3 there.
You can't leave him alone, especially from long range.
Now a timeout. A change here. Gasol's checked in. .109 left to play in the third. Here's Blotch. Good. Blotch has got 6. Lakers trail by 9. In low to Hill. And he slams it one-handed. Now, as far as the defense goes, Clark, that is not what's going to keep them in this lead.
Yeah, but from the other perspective, you can see just how much that dunk pumped those players up.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I agree, guys. I sense a little bit of a momentum shift here.
So it's Brooklyn now after the basket by Los Angeles.
Boy, this defense is getting eaten up on the inside, guys, giving up far too many free runs to the rim.
And they haven't been able to return the favor. I mean, their offense in the paint has not been up to par.
Here's Farmar. He has 6. And the foul on Jordan Farmar. That's his first foul.
You know, since halftime, he's been hesitant with the ball in his hands. First half, he was flawless with his decision-making, but not so here in the second.
Young's checked in for Jordan Farmar. Nets leading by 9. Outside Williams. 24 seconds left in the third quarter. 8 feet away. And that one comes up a bit short. Now Johnson. Pass to Blake. Right side Gasol. That's good. Gasol's got 8 here in the quarter. And that's going to do it for the third quarter. Brooklyn ahead, up 7. And fourth quarter basketball will be coming your way on 2K Sports right after this. And that's going to do it for the third quarter. And here is Los Angeles now. On the perimeter, the all-star trio of Williams, Johnson, and Pierce. Garnett out there with Blotch. So that's the lineup for Brooklyn. And the shot is good. And that's 23 points for Kobe Bryant.
Yeah, he's been the key cog in their offense with the way he shot the ball.
His percentage today beyond impressive. Certainly not his fault the score is what it is.
Now here's Williams. Johnson outside. Passes it to Garnett. Will not go. This is off the front iron. Lakers trail by 5. Here's Bryant. Takes it up with both hands and rips it down.
Boy, the floor really opened up for him there.
It sure did. A good job getting it started before the defense can get itself set.
Here's Williams. One minute now into this fourth quarter. Johnson outside. The three-pointer no good. The Lakers shooting it really well. 54% from the floor. Nash with it. And it's Johnson picking him up. Shot, high post. Count that one, and the Nets lead has been cut to just 1 point on the basket from Hill.
You know, tired legs can affect you at the defensive end, and I think that's what's happening right here.
I agree, because as much offense as we saw early, we're seeing even more of it here late.
Now here's Williams. Johnson, that's for 2. It's good. Great play by Williams to set it up. Williams has got his 7th assist of the game with that last one. Nash up on top. He's guarded by Williams. The kick out to Young. Stolen by Pierce. Here's Johnson. Well-timed pass, and he goes straight to the bucket for the layup. Johnson's got 4 points this quarter.
That is some real serious dime dropping there. Exquisite assist.
Kobe dishes to Gasol, and it's blocked by Blotch. Pierce against Nash. Shoots from 12. The shot is off, so the Lakers will take it the other way. Outside Bryant. Inside to Gasol. Right through the D for the layup.
3 consecutive baskets have come right at the rim. The defense had better start buckling down and tightening up.
Yeah, they're getting exposed right now.
Now here's Williams. Left side Pierce. Watch inside. And foul called as he misses. He'll go to the line and shoot 2.
What a stellar outing in this one for Blotch. He has 8 points and 1 steal as well. Don't underestimate how important he's been.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, he's really tapped into his potential today, guys.
I would think it's safe to say that Andre Blotch grew up as an NBA player last season. His maturity was obvious. He was an impact big when he got minutes, and getting amnestied by Washington might have been the wake-up call that his career needed.
That free throw good from Blotch. And to go back, Clark, to Andre Blotch, what a turnaround after being cut loose by the Wizards last season. Arguably the best of his career with Brooklyn.
Well, we knew he had talent all along. I thought a big part of it was motivation and a culture of accountability. Some players are self-starters. Other guys need coaches and teammates to push them. But I thought Blotch probably had his best season yet last year.
Lakers trail by 5. Nash outside. He feeds it to Kobe. Back to Nash. Kicks it to Young. 5 to shoot. High post try. The shot by Nash, no good. Brooklyn leading by 5. Outside Williams. Garnett with a screen on Nash. Williams passes to Garnett. Tries again. Shot's good by Black.
They've done a terrific job of getting offensive rebounds and then converting those here in the second half. I mean, it's one thing to get the offensive rebound, but they've turned them all into points.
And Nash, here we go. It's stolen by Garnett. Pierce against Nash. Left side Williams. Johnson outside. Chris Kaman pulls it in. Kaman's got his 7th rebound of the game with that last one. Watch against Nash. Outside, Kobe. He dishes it to Kaman. Shot clock at 6. Shot from the wing. Los Angeles with another miss. The Nets with the lead. Williams kicks over to Watch. And 2 free throws coming up as he misses that one. Drawing the whistle and a lot of contact there. It's going to be on Kobe Bryant.
For Brooklyn, Andre Blush. 2 shots.
That free throw, no good. And he can't get the second one to drop either. Coming up empty that time. Lakers trail by 7. Nash with it. And it's Johnson picking him up. Nash against Johnson. Now here's Nash. Guarded closer. Using his post moves to get the 2 points.
Loose defense at such a critical time. You're better off sending him to the line than giving him 2 points.
Outside Williams. Left side Williams. But he stays with it. Pierce kicks to Johnson. Second shot opportunity, and he hits the jump shot. Johnson's got 13 points in the second half.
Oh, a fantastic quarter for him here in the 4th. I mean, efficiency personified here.
And the Lakers call time here.
One of the duties that Steve Nash has undertaken is signing on to oversee the Canadian national basketball team. Really a logical choice for Canada, given all that Nash has done for the sport in that country.
And now Doris Burke has an update from the sidelines.
Thank you, Kevin. I was able to listen in on what Mike D'Antoni had to say to his team. He is not happy with their perimeter defense, saying, guys, way too many open shots for them beyond the 3-point line. We've got to press up closer and try to crowd them off the arc. Guys, we'll see if they got the message.
Now here's Bryant. Feeds it to Kaman. No good. Good D by Lopez. Going back to Nash, certainly the greatest basketball player ever out of Canada, and we all realize that. But you were telling me a story the other day about how you and he went surfing one time.
Well, yeah, in San Diego, we got out in the water, and the first time he ever got on a surfboard, he got up and rode a wave perfectly. So, I mean, you talk about an incredible athlete. Nash just has it all.
And now, running up the court, Pierce pushing it up, and Lopez gets it to go.
Boy, he made a nice little bounce pass there. We call that the pocket pass, and he did it well.
Williams against Nash. Bryant dishes to Kaman. Young up top. And it is flushed down with a nice jam.
Up high and down hard with the one-hander.
Got a little extra forceful with that one, didn't he? Huh?
Yes, sir.
I think he's hoping to kind of get his teammates going a little bit, fellas.
Nets leading by 7. Williams attacking. There's the feed to Lopez. The rebound by the Lakers. Here's Nash. Pass to Young. Dishes to Kaman. Back to Young. Nash outside. Looks for Kaman. Gets it to him. Lopez with the block. Count that one, and the Nets' lead has been cut down now to just 5 on the basket from Kaman.
Well, it's a dangerous time to go cold here in the fourth quarter, so he's going to have to find the range.
Now here's Williams. And there's the pass to Johnson. In low to Garnett. Basket is good. The assist from Johnson. And it's 7 points for Kevin Garnett.
Nice pass. That one was right on target.
Lakers trail by 7. Now here's Nash. And Young, here we go. And the Lakers check on 2 more.
You know, as soon as he got an opening, he let it fly. That was a big shot there.
And here is Williams. Back to Pierce. Nice ball movement by Brooklyn. Williams passes to Garnett. And stolen by Nash. Here's the break. Brooklyn with the rebound. Williams has got 3 rebounds so far in the game. He kicks to Garnett. Rebound by Kobe. Kobe's got rebound number 5 here tonight. Nash against Pierce. Nash kicks to Kobe. The dish now to Kaman. And it's sent back by Lopez. Kaman against Williams. With some arc, and that's 2 points on the layup. And the Nets lead by 7.
Like he may have been showboating a little bit at the end of that one.
Nash kicks to Kaman. Outside Bryant. Left side Bryant. And so he earns a trip to the line. Officials saw the contact and he'll shoot 2.
Looking at the game for Gasol, he has 14 points and also a block shot.
You know, he's been so good at both ends of the floor, guys, but what's impressed me the most is his offensive performance.
I don't know, Steve. I think the work he's done defensively has been pretty impressive, too.
Well, he's such a versatile scorer offensively. I mean, Gasol's a guy who shoots with range. We saw him even make some threes last year for the Lakers, but really good at the mid-range area, and he'll just punish smaller defenders down on the block with either hand.
And, you know, some have labeled him a finesse big man, Steve, but I think he's consistently one of the league leaders in offensive rebounds. You can't be a finesse guy and gobble up offensive boards. He's got that big height advantage, especially at power forward.
And the second free throw, good. Now a timeout call by Brooklyn.
Well, he sees something that he doesn't like. I'm not sure what it is, but I think he's going to make some changes here.
I think you've got to make your adjustments pretty quickly like he's doing here. Otherwise, you know, things can get out of hand. So this is a good timeout.
Let's find out what Doris Burke has for us.
Hi, Kevin. Jason Kidd was just going over the plan with his team. The focus of the discussion was getting their offense to run through Pierce. Coach was obviously looking for big things from him in this game and is still hoping that takes shape very quickly. He added one more thing as well, which was that he wants them driving the lane and taking the ball strong to the hoop at every opportunity. It's pretty late in the game to be altering the game plan, but they're going to come out with a different look here, guys. Back to you.
Thanks a lot, Doris. Now here's Nash. Outside, Kobe. Good, and the assist goes to Nash. 27 points for Kobe Bryant.
Well, he's been a real positive factor for them today, although, you know, as a team, they've had a lot of negatives mixed in there as well.
Williams kicks to Johnson. Shoots from the block. Connects. The jumper drops. Johnson's got 15 points in just the second half. And the Lakers call time here. They trail by 6. 1:57 left in the fourth quarter. 1:57 left in the game. Bryant off the pick from Kamen. Kobe goes in. Young outside. Back to Bryant. So the whistle blows on the shot and 2 free throws for the contact right there.
Well, how about Kobe in this one? He's got 27 points and 4 assists. He's a one-man wrecking crew out there.
No, they have no answer for him at this point.
So the first one drops, and that brings them within 5.
You really have to like the work they put in at the free throw line here in the half. I mean, they've been really aggressive in drawing fouls, and then they've been able to knock down their free throws.
And Kobe drops them both.
In a crucial spot, he is always so solid at the line. He rarely wastes those opportunities.
Now a timeout called by Brooklyn. They're in front by 4. We've got 1:48 left in the game. Lopez outside. Garnett against Gasol. Garnett kicks to Johnson. Pass to Pierce. 4 on the shot clock.
Yeah, nice body control there. Narrowly missing the shot. Would have been a 3-point play.
Had a free look at it after the foul. Nice play.
Los Angeles having lots of trouble defending against Pierce.
10 points, and he's come up with a couple of nice steals today, too.
Well, he's been playing a very energetic brand of defense, Clark. You got to love it.
First free throw is good, and that puts them up by 5. And so he drops them both. It's a 6-point ball game.
And the lead now pretty healthy after that trip to the line.
Here's Kobe. Oh, and that one, no question, powered it down. Clark, I'm guessing that wasn't the plan for the D on that trip.
And I'm agreeing with you there. Once they opened the lane up for him, that was a little emphasis on that finish.
Take what the defense gives you and then just power it home, right? Why not?
Here's Johnson. After the basket by the Lakers. Passes it to Williams. He feeds it to Lopez. Good. A nice assist for Williams. 17 points for Brook Lopez.
You know, they've been able to depend on his offense all game long, guys. He's drained a lot of shots out here.
And between now and the horn, Steve, the ball should be in his hands as much as possible if they want to continue to build this lead.
Here's Kamen. Tries again.
I think it's going to be tough for them to trim this deficit if he keeps missing those kinds of shots, Kevin. I mean, they need his points.
Williams' shot is off.
There was just enough defensive pressure to get him off balance and cause that shot to go around.
It'll go, and the Nets' lead is cut down to just 4 points with the bucket from Kobe. 40 seconds left to play here in the 4th. Johnson double-teamed. Pierce dishes to Williams. Johnson with it, and Kamen picks him up defensively. That's good.
And he's made the most of his chances, hasn't he? He really needs to continue to work for those good looks.
Los Angeles calls timeout. They're losing by 6. There's 25 seconds left here in the 4th quarter. Young outside. Connects. And now they trail by just 4. So it's Brooklyn now, and an intentional foul right there.
That's right. No other option but to foul and hope for some misses.
Yep, you got to extend the game here. Try to keep that clock from moving.
Joe Johnson at the line for 2.
Good on the first, and that puts them up by 5. So he drops them both. It's a 6-point ball game. 19 seconds left in the fourth. And for the Lakers, they're shooting 57% in this fourth quarter. The 3-ball. Again, Young missing. And that's an intentional foul.
That's his 3rd personal foul. 5th team foul. At the line for your Nets, Joe Johnson. At the line for 2.
It's the first, and that makes it a 7-point lead. And Los Angeles will go for a different look here. And he hits both free throws here. So now it's an 8-point game. Here's Blake. Fires from deep. No good.
He had to clear some space for himself to get that rebound. Not easy in there among the big bodies.
And so it's Brooklyn with the win. They pulled off this win, Clark, with respectable performances on both ends of the floor.
Yeah, I think it was just really a nice overall effort, Kevin.
And time now to go courtside as we send you over to Doris Burke from the sideline. Doris?
Well, Joe, congratulations on this win. This was a game where we saw plenty of great sequences, some nice runs put together. What changes for the team out on the floor when you guys start rolling like we witnessed here tonight?
We just picked up our energy and effort. We was able to get some stops, got out in transition, started making a few shots, and it just kind of got contagious.
Well, this was fun for us to watch, Joe. Thanks for the time. Guys?
Thank you, Doris. And, folks, that about concludes our broadcast tonight. For Steve Kerr, Clark Kellogg, and Doris Burke, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching as we leave you with our Jordan Player of the Game, Brooke Lopez.
Everybody get up.